Happy Wednesday. It is another episode of the Talking Shop podcast. We're like that bad penny that just keeps turning up. I'm Josh from Grand Slam. This is Michael from at Medium Rare Cards over on the gram. We're going to talk some shop. I'm going to probably have to restart my webcam a few times because I'm already permanently frozen. But we're here to have a good time.
Yeah, I'm glad you went with the bad penny and not the turd that won't flush. Although that's still my favorite. Let me hit you with the rundown real quick. We're going to catch up after a big weekend. Don't know how many golfers are out there that listen to the show, but Rory finally got his green jacket. Josh hits a local show. It's a oldie but goodie, but in a different location. Can't wait to hear about that. And we know that the MLB debut patches are all the rage. And we've got a pretty cool what if image because of a very significant baseball player that we celebrate on April 15th each year. Speaking of Rory, we're going to take a look at a card that features him and a guy named Michael Jordan. Mike Trout shows why he is one of the classier players in the league. A one-of-one Steph Curry surfaces, and WWE continues to heat up with some new cards. As always, we tell you what's new in the shop. We show off some hits specifically from the show this weekend. And hopefully we've got a crazy stat to wrap things up with. But Josh, tell us about the show. Do you want to show the hits, or do you want to save those for later and show you want to roll into those?
No, we can show them here in a moment. Yeah, so it was the card show that we put on in conjunction with Top Sports Promotion, Jeremy over there. It was all the same, but in a new location. So my church gym was booked in April and even in the next few months. And so Pastor McAteer over at Sisk Memorial Baptist Church said we could use his gym. And so we had this last weekend show in their church gym. It was great. We had a great turnout. It's very similar to the last one. You remember the last one, the weather threatened, and then it ended up being good. And then we were like, wow, great turnout. So the turnout was, I think, equally good. Yeah, so I picked up a few things. There's one card, if you're a Brady collector, here it is on the screen. I guess we have a non-HD version of this card, but there it is. It came in. So no, it came in good. It just take a minute to buffer. Yeah. But if you're a Brady collector, right, you got to own this card. It's nothing super special, although it's expensive for what it is. It's the refractor of his Bowman draft card. I hadn't owned that yet. And so I saw that one. I bought it. The funny story is Charlie that set up with us, part of the crew, saw it and he said, you know what? I really want one of those in my PC as well. So keep your eyes peeled sometime for another one. And then a different customer came by the booth. I said, hey, check out the Brady card I got. I finally got one. And he said, oh, I saw someone else selling one over there at a PSA slab. I think it was a PSA 8. And so we couldn't remember where. So I went around and scoped it out and found it, bought that one, and then took it back to Charlie, and he purchased it from me. So there were two of that card at the show, and we each got one. So that is at home in my PC now. And then just a few other Brady's.
Well, before you move on, is this the type of card? It looks pretty well centered. Are you thinking about maybe cracking this?
I'm not, because I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it does look really good. It's got in the top right corner, it's got a little scratch you can't see in the picture, but on the card you can see it. Very minimal, but no, I just care about owning this card. I don't care about the grade. So
that's
the other one was a PSA 8 for like $90 less. And so it was like, I would rather have the SGC 9, you know. So Charlie got the PSA 8, but Both awesome cards. The next one is the 2000 Fleer Metal Tom Brady. I own a couple of this card. One of my best rookies that I own of this, I'm pretty sure I have this in a PSA 9, which is a pretty good card because this card is notoriously chipped up.
Oh yeah.
And, there's also an emerald version of this card that I own as well, and then a couple copies of this one. But that's one of those. It's in a Patriot uniform. It's out of a cool set. It's a cool card. If I can get it for a fair price, that's usually one I try to get. So I scooped one of those up. This next one is interesting. I own this card. It's hard to see, but there in the middle, you can see it's numbered to 1000.
Oh, there you go.
And on the back, it's 2001 Upper Deck. And so I always in my head considered this a second year card, but it's considered a rookie. Every card that I look up from this card says rookie. They call it it's his Upper Deck vintage rookie card. So I'm sold. Going into it, when I was buying it, I was like, this is a second year card. It's an 01, but it's considered a rookie. So regardless, I own 2 of this card. So out of the 1000, I have 2 of them. I'm trying to corner that market for that card.
There you go.
It's in pretty good shape. You can see some little white corners, but and then the last 2 were just 2 fun cards that aren't crazy, but I love the look of the old Select. I love that card there. It's a numbered die cut. Always fun to add some slabs to the collection. So that one, and then the last one is a camo refractor from 2012 Topps. So those were what was that? 1, 2, 5 cards, 5 Brady's. Yeah. So those were my pickups from the show. Sold a few things, but it was a good time. A good time.
Traffic wise to the Grand Slam table. How'd you guys do?
Well, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and then it's really good at these, especially our show. It's a little smaller show when some of the repackers come around, and there's a couple that come pretty regularly to it, and they kind of gobble up cards from everybody. It's really cool because then those people that are only in it for $30 a table, or maybe 2 tables for $60, they leave with a few $1,000s because a good repacker or a whatnot streamer or something comes through and gobbles up a bunch of their cards. So I think everybody did well. Everybody I talked to at least did well, numbers wise. So
what were a couple questions, and then we'll move on to what I want to talk about, which is the most important thing. But what were they looking for? And were they paying as strong as they were, say, 6 months ago? Because I know there were some stories going around that repackers were paying X percentage, and it was driving everybody crazy because then if you wanted to get a deal, you couldn't get a deal because they knew the repackers were there. What sort of vibe were you picking up with regards to that? I'm glad they were there because it's great for the vendors. But
there's only a few of them there, and the few that are there, they pay a fair price. So you never felt like they were going around just lowballing and buying in bulk like that. So I think everyone not only was pleased that they were there buying, but they were pleased with the prices. We had a few people that, I never got the vibe that people wanted to haggle much. So it was good. I mean, again, if you price your stuff fair, that takes care of some of that. And I'm there selling wax, and so I'm probably not even the best one to even ask, because some of the regular vendors that are there with just single cards probably have a better vibe for that answer than I do, because I'm just selling boxes at the price that's on them. So
right. All right. Well, I am sad that I did not make it to this show, but I am happy that I parked my happy butt in front of the couch, in front of the TV on my couch all weekend long to watch what I watch the Masters every year. We got a comment here from Anthony. Anthony, I'd have you on, but that would be me making a unilateral decision on the podcast, and I don't know if Josh would allow it.
We can talk about that right now. It's a little small staff meeting about whether Anthony would be. No, the answer is no.
Anthony, find me at the next show, and we'll talk Masters all day long. But Josh, I know that you're not a golf watcher or a golf fan, but it was must see TV. Like, it was as riveting as a sport, like a non-contact slow sport like golf can get. It was, if you take, let's just say, remember when the Cardinals with David Freese went all crazy in the World Series, or even Freddie Freeman hitting the grand slam last year, or Jordan going for the it was must see TV. And for it to be must see TV without Tiger for golf is saying something. So that was
I will say I have heard that sentiment about this, although I know nothing of it. I know the name. I know Rory McIlroy, and was it like, did it come down to like the final few putts, or
it was an emotional roller coaster for a lot of reasons. So do you know what the Grand Slam in golf is?
you get a green jacket? That's all I know.
So you get a green jacket for the Masters, but there are 4 big tournaments a year. And if you win all of them,
got it.
That's called the Grand Slam. Well, only 5 other golfers in the history of golf have ever won all 4. And he joined that club. And
so going into it, he knew he could be a Grand Slam champion. People knew if he won this, he would be a Grand Slam champion.
Right. What made it compelling is, number one, he's been trying for the last 14 years to do this and failing.
So
and
it's to win failing. It at one point in your career, not all in the same year.
Not all in the same year. That's only been done once.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like the WWE in the sense of they do call a Grand Slam champion a person that's won each of the belts throughout their career. Yes. So this would be each one of the 4 majors throughout their career. Then they're a Grand Slam champion.
See, but it's just the way he's lost it in the past, just completely crapping the bed, melting down, or not even contending. And he was coming into this tournament in great form. And just the emotion on the 18th green. If you haven't seen it's worth a watch to see.
They need a company like WWE to put a hype package, like a promo package together about like with cool editing and music and clips from like to where he's failed in the past, and they do it for like each big WrestleMania match. You watch a 5-minute promo build up to it.
Oh, they're everywhere. He's a Nike athlete, so Nike has been hyping it up. And then after the win, there's some great emotional marketing like that. And he's overcome that. And there's some built-in rivals. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's been a long time since it was since Tiger won the Masters in 2019, where I've been like riveted. So that was.
So how many Grand Slam? How many Grand Slammers in history are there?
There's 6 now. 6. Tiger was the last one.
Mickelson, Woods.
Nope, Mickelson didn't do it. Mickelson didn't do it, and any of the other modern golfers that you could possibly name haven't done it. So. Tiger was the last one. Jack Nicklaus was one of them. Gary Player, Bobby Jones, Gene Sarazen, Arnold Palmer, and then Rory McIlroy. It's like a Rushmore sort of thing. So really cool, and we'll talk about that. It was like the thumbnail of the episode is like, does this make golf relevant in the hobby? And we've got a pretty cool card to show off there.
You've almost made me want to go watch it, but not quite.
Just watch the highlights. Just watch the highlights on YouTube. That's the beautiful thing about YouTube. And then one more story in the opening rip. Check this card out. Obviously, this is mocked up, but it is worth showing. If I could find it. We miss you, Jacob. Here we go. So MLB debut patch yesterday. Was it yesterday the 15th? Yes, yesterday was Jackie Robinson Day. Everybody wears number 42, and so this is from Fifth Bomb Breaks, and they mocked up Jackie Robinson if he had an ML debut patch. Pretty cool. I'm guessing they lifted his signature from somewhere else, it's a great autograph. But just wanted to give that shout out. Do you have any Jackie Robinson in the shop? Is that something you see?
I mean, we do get some of the old vintage stuff through periodically. I don't think we do currently, but we have periodically. Would he be one that they would ever do like the Bowman draft, like the first Bowman? You know how they've done Ruth and Elway and Brady, and who are some of the other big ones they've done? But I wonder
if they were going to do it, maybe they'd wait till 100 years ago, because 78 years, 80 seems sort of weird, but
yeah, but 100's in 2047. That's a long
time.
Topps.
So, but no, that would be super collectible. And when I think about it, it's Jackie Robinson. It's when you talk about him, she's so revered. Everybody wears 42 on April 15th, but I feel like he's not put in the same sentence as Mantle and Ruth and even Roberto Clemente or players like that. And I don't know why.
I mean, his rookie card's worth a fortune.
A fortune, and I wish I had that pulled up. But I just thought this was super cool and a great day in baseball every year. So, all right, Josh. It is Wednesday, traditionally release day. What comes out today and the rest of the week? What's hitting the shelves at Grand Slam?
So today at Grand Slam is Topps Tribute Baseball. So that's high-end baseball products. We've got a little bit of it on the shelf. There's only 4 boxes per case. I am frozen, so you'll just have to hear me and look at my iRobot type face there. So that is today. We're starting to hit a period here where some really good stuff's going to come out. Also today, which I thought I had these, they haven't arrived yet. If I do get them, they could arrive today, I suppose. The Hidden Treasures autographed full-size football helmets. We always get those each year. Those are fun. But today, there's also, I didn't get this. People have asked me about it. I don't know why I wasn't solicited any of it. Maybe it's because I'm kind of a new Topps store, I'm guessing. But Topps Star Wars Masterwork launched today. Yeah,
another high-end product.
Yeah, really cool product. I wish I would have got some. But this Friday has a couple other favorites. So we will have National Treasures Racing. So although we're not a big NASCAR shop, that product is good and we will sell it good. Phoenix Football, one of my personal faves. That one comes out Friday as well. And then on the horizon, I'll quickly mention these: Heritage Baseball, Bowman Baseball. There's a product called... So Topps has got some new football products on the horizon, and you may not have heard of any of these yet. Topps Resurgence, have you heard of that product? So that's a new one that releases in a couple weeks. And it's 24, so it's Topps's way of getting that 2024 rookie class, Jaden and Bo and all those guys, into some product. So that'll be cool. We'll talk more about it as that gets closer. There's an NBA product. Again, Topps doing the same thing with Wemby, but it's called Motif. And so that is, I think, 10 days out. And then Topps Chrome Black is on the horizon. But as of this week, you're looking at Tribute Baseball, some full-size helmets, National Treasures Racing, and Phoenix Football. Oh, and let's not forget Friday. This is a big one. Cosmic Chrome football.
Oh,
yeah. So that's going to be, even though it's unlicensed, it's going to be beautiful.
Yes. And we will we'll probably dedicate an episode to Bowman baseball.
Yeah.
That's a big release, and there's some big names in there.
Oh, and I can't sleep on this. Well, we'll talk more about it in the weeks to come, but I did get solicited some of the V-Friends, Topps Chrome V-Friends. So
fantastic. We talked about that a couple episodes back.
Yeah. As of right now, it's just blasters. I'm waiting to see if I still get hobbies. But yeah, we will have blasters for sure.
Awesome.
And I requested more, so we'll see.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to give Josh a chance to get unfrozen.
Yep.
And play a quick promo spot from our sponsor.
Are you looking to get your cards graded? Well, here at Grand Slam, we've simplified the process of submitting and getting a card graded. All you have to do is drop off your cards and kick your feet up, while our transparent tracking ensures that you are up to date with every detail along the way. When you log into our website, you'll immediately be greeted with each card in the grading process, along with where it's at in the process and its final grade. And with over 1,000 submissions and some of the top cards across the country being submitted through us, we have become a well-trusted source to handle and submit your cards. So you can do more collecting and leave the chore of grading to us. So don't sit on grading your cards. Get them submitted today at Grand Slam, where grading's made easy.
All right.
And a little heads up to those grading cards right now. PSA just adjusted their turnaround time and made it a little bit longer. So be patient. I think they're 45 days, went to like 60 days, something like that. So I think they must be, I haven't looked at gem rate. They must be getting hit hot and heavy with cards. I know we've been submitting for customers a little more than usual. And so just be patient.
All right. Well, I mean, let's keep this in perspective. 3.5 years ago, that turnaround time was 6 months. So 60 days sounds pretty good still.
It's 60 business days, so it will probably be 3 to 4 months. So just keep that in mind. A strong 3 months is probably the best way to put it.
Managing expectations. All right, let's take a look at our first hobby story. How do we do this? Here we go. So this is from Sports Card Investor, who we are going to mention a little later. But it says Rory won the Masters yesterday. So this was posted Monday. A few hours later, this Michael Jordan Rory dual auto. Jordan and Rory on the same card. I didn't even know this card existed. Numbered out of 5 from 2014. Sold for $13,800. So to me, it seems like a pretty good deal for Jordan auto. And then Rory McIlroy being a member of the Grand Slam Club, pretty cool card.
Well, according to the comments, that person agrees with you as well. Someone got a bargain on that. I mean, that, I don't know if I'd call it a bargain at $14,000, but yeah, it does seem like a fair price.
Yeah.
You think the owner of this card strategically waited for the day that Rory would become a Grand Slam champion before he posted that out there to sell, I wonder?
Yeah. So, and apologies, I may have a dog bark here. So just going to toggle the microphone, but I don't know. This was on Fanatics Collect. Admittedly, I have never shopped for cards on Fanatics Collect. I don't know if that's an auction site. So if it was, then they would have had to have been very strategic in listing it and ending it hours after the Masters. You know, I can see a scenario to where somebody owned this card, had it scheduled to close after the Masters, hoping Rory would win, and I could imagine he had a pretty hefty bet on FanDuel or DraftKings or something, and put all his chips in for Rory. So, yep. Anthony, that seems cheap. I honestly think that was cheap, and I don't know. Maybe does it seem cheap just because Jordan's auto's on here? I think so, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't think Jordan's. I mean, does Jordan's auto bring 10,000 and McIlroy brings 4,000? Is that one way to look at it? I didn't think Jordan's auto brought that much, especially with like no Bulls uniform. I don't know. That seems doesn't seem like a bargain to me, but
I don't know the Jordan auto. I don't know the Jordan auto market. I know there's not a ton of them out there because of his deal with Upper Deck. But who knows, right? And Rory, now that he's taken the lid off of this Masters thing, because there was a mental block there. There was a mental block there. It was sort of the same sort of mental block that Peyton Manning had to get over in beating Tom Brady.
yeah,
The mental block that Jordan had to get over to beating the Pistons. It was one of those things to where the longer it went, the harder it was for him to win the Masters. And, now people are, it wasn't even 24 hours before people are like, well, now he's the only one that could win the calendar Grand Slam since he won the Masters. It's like, good gracious, give this man some time to breathe. Go ahead.
no, I was just laughing at your.
Yeah, and the reason why I led with this is I don't know if you know who Bryson DeChambeau is.
I do know the name. Yep.
And you know the name because of why? Do you know it because of the hobby or because of some other reason?
No, I know it because he has signed in Leaf products before, and we've had his autograph pulled in the store out of Leaf products.
Okay. Well, he's also become a YouTube sensation.
And he golfed with Trump. I actually watched the video where he golfed with Trump. That's right.
And so he is relevant in a different way. He is a very good golfer. Him and Rory are a natural sort of rival because their styles sort of clash. Rory's more of a classic golfer. Bryson uses funky clubs, like he uses 3D printed clubs, and they're all the same length. And he's sort of this mad scientist he's obsessed with hitting the ball a mile. And so I put it out there. Does Rory winning the Masters and sort of getting to that next level, and Bryson being a YouTube star, does that add any relevancy to golf in the hobby? Like, is this going to make you say, yeah, I'm going to take a flyer on some golf product later this year?
Yeah, I mean, that Prism Live Golf that came out recently sold fast and well. I think I put in for. I put in for the next Live Golf product. I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah, I do have a desire. There's enough. It's like WWE. I could sell that really well because although the majority of collectors that come into the shop don't buy WWE, those that do will come out and buy it. And there's enough of those. And so, yeah, WWE and some of those, Topps Chrome V Friends. There's a niche group that's going to buy that product strong. And golf, as much as I'm not into it, it's huge. It's popular. It's, very desirable. So I would buy for sure for the shop.
Awesome. Well, speaking of the Masters, you would not believe who was working as a professional photographer at the Masters. You would not believe it.
Randy Johnson. He's the big unit. Remember, he's a photographer. Did I guess it?
He faced Randy Johnson.
I think I know the name too. Bagwell or Biggio.
You're not gonna believe this. Junior.
Oh, I did know that. Yeah. I would not have guessed it, but I did know that. I did know at least he was a photographer.
And I didn't know this. I saw the interview and he's like, I started doing this because I wanted to capture my kids playing their sports. And so, and if you don't know anything about photography, the body of a great camera is going to be a couple $1,000s, but sometimes these telephoto lenses they're like $10,000 a piece. So this sort of fits. But check out some of these shots from Ken. Look, he's got the Ken Griffey. He's got the byline for these photos. I mean,
do you think he gets treated the same as the other non-famous photographers, or do you think he gets a little bit of it's Ken Griffey Jr.
Well, he's not a small guy, right?
No.
I mean, he's a pretty sizable fella, so he probably sticks out a little bit.
He probably is on steroids too.
But these photos they're great. I mean, he's got a great eye. I saw this one. I thought this was funny. From Michael Starks 90. I'm sure the regular guys out there who take the similar shots, they need the money and the opportunities way more than a millionaire.
I'm gonna agree with Michael, even though you're not you. I'm gonna agree with Michael Starks there, even though you're making fun of him. It's probably true.
Imagine being Imagine being a photographer who's been doing this for 30 years, and they're highlighting Ken Griffey's shots.
Well, I would say let's see those photos, and then without a biased eye, see whose are better. Maybe his are better.
I would say that if you've been doing this for 30 years, it better be better. Because if not, then don't be complaining. I don't know. I haven't done anything for 30 years except eat and poop. So I'm pretty good at those two things.
They should let Ken Griffey do the photography for some of the baseball cards, like Stadium Club or
that'd be cool.
at least some of the newer players.
Ooh, we've got some rivalry stuff. Fitting since Bryson is a traitor to the PGA. Do you know what Anthony's talking about here?
Anthony's a liberal nut, so he doesn't like Trump. That's why he doesn't like Bryson. But
so,
he is right. He is right that Randy and Griffey would have been teammates.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So what he's talking about is you've got the PGA Tour, and then you've mentioned it. The Live Tour had a Prism deal with Panini. They're competing leagues. And so if you're a member of the Live Golf Tour, you're not allowed to be a member of the PGA Tour.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can't keep all this straight.
I know. It's complicated. We could talk about that further, but we're a card podcast, not a golf podcast. But I thought this was relevant since,
Yeah, Anthony, keep politics out of it.
Yeah.
You're gonna stir me up.
Because Ken Griffey Jr., he's so beloved in the hobby. I think it is cool. He's a photographer now, and I think it'd be cool if he did some of that Stadium Club stuff. So we'll see. All right, our next story. Did you see this? And I'm not going to share the sound because it's a little cringy.
So I got the highlight on my phone right after it happened, because on the MLB app, I have any highlight involving Mike Trout gets sent to me immediately, just because I like to keep tabs on his at-bats and stuff like that. So any home runs he hits. But I got immediately after this happened, I got the highlight about Trout getting robbed by a fan or something like that. So I immediately went and watched it. I was like, "Oh, that's so crazy!" The video is crazy.
Was it egregious? Did he just take it out of his glove?
Yeah, it was kind of like their hands were in it together, but you saw the ball literally went into Trout's glove in the same time the guy's hand did, and then he wrestled it out of the glove. It was egregious, but the rule does state that once the glove crosses into the fans, it's fair game at that point.
Fair game.
So, yeah. was a great catch, and it was a greater pull out of the glove by the dad.
Well,
he
guys,
legitimately was sorry. Like he said,
Yeah.
I mean, he looked at Trout and he's just like, "I'm sorry," you know.
you
And
got
like,
caught up in the moment, right?
got caught up in the moment.
I don't know what I would do. Have you ever been in a position that close to the field?
No, I would have totally did the same thing. Me and
Yeah.
Trout are going to wrestle for that ball, but
Yeah. Well, I don't know who's more excited in this video. So if you're just listening, we're watching this Facebook reel of Trout, the guy that stole the ball out of his glove and his kid. I think the dad is more excited than the kid. I
he's
don't
probably
know.
because there's excitement as a dad for the
Yeah.
kid, and
Yeah.
he's documenting it, and those are memories. But what I think helped lead this point to where Trout is going, because the guy was at fault and Trout was not, but Trout's emotions got the best of him in the moment too, because he yells back at the fan, and that's just the competitive nature of Trout. Knowing he got an out stolen from him, probably felt bad that he barked at a father and son, and so even though they were in the wrong, Trout probably felt like he wanted to go above and beyond and not leave that taste in their mouth. So kudos to him. Trout's a stud.
He is. He is. It's part of the reason why, other than his numbers, and I know he's been injured and there's been a big fall off since sort of the COVID prime of the hobby, but I think this is part of why he's collectible. He's just a likable guy.
Yep.
Likable guy. So love those those stories. Speaking
the Angels
of
are doing well. From what at last I checked, the Angels were in, I think, first place in their division. It's been a little while since I've checked, but
nice. So speaking of stories that I love, it is about darn time. We pump Jeff Wilson and Sports Card Investor every week because they just have great content and it just shows up in my feed and it's stuff to talk about. But check this out, folks. If you guys are just listening, this is a post on Sports Card Investor's Instagram page, and it's reading, "Would you rip for a chance at cash?" And he tags Josh in this post. It's pretty cool. It's fantastic. Josh, what did you think when you first saw the notification that this came across?
The notification came across my my phone, and it said Sports Card Investor tagged you in a post. And so I go to look at it. I was a little bummed that it was the post that I took a video 5 years ago, probably 6 years ago.
Is it really 5 years ago? Really?
That was at the little show in Lancaster.
That's right.
Yeah. This is Drew opening the card. Drew's one of the friends of the shop and a personal friend of mine. And he had that rip card. And of course, anytime I see a rip card, I'm trying to talk people into ripping it. Yeah. And this rip card. So Topps reposted this video last year. And we're like, how on earth did they find this? This would have been buried, because I didn't tag Topps in it or anything. Mm-hmm. This video would have been buried on our Facebook feed for years.
Yeah.
And me and Drew were both dumbfounded. How did Topps even find this video? And then they reposted it. And then all the comments just flamed me and Drew. We got flamed nonstop in this video by people with horrible attitudes, but they're calling Drew's one of the most knowledgeable sports card guys you'll ever meet, and they're calling him like, this idiot doesn't know anything about cards, and like you guys don't even know what you're talking about. So then I thought it was dead, and then what do you know, a year later, Sports Card Investor finds it. But I sent this I shared this video and sent it to Drew, and I said, hey, we made the internet again. And he noticed something for the very first time, that on the back of the card, it says, rip it for cash. So if you zoom in on the card, so he was ripping it, thinking it was a mini in there. And he said, if I remember right, I think back then you could actually get cash, but it does say on the back of the card, this is a Topps, rip cash card, or rip it for cash of different values or something like that. So yeah.
What was the top value?
I don't know. It was probably pretty darn good at the time. It was if I remember right, that card, it's an old Allen Iverson card, rip card. So, everyone's like, the card was worth more than that. You ruined it. I mean, they just flame me and him both.
Awesome.
But I just a little video of him recording it. I threw it on our Facebook page 5 or 6 years ago, not thinking anybody would ever see it. And we laugh about it every time it resurfaces. But
that's great. That's great. So really cool. Thank you, Jeff and team, for finally shouting us out.
For being avid watchers of our podcast.
That's right. All right, next story. Got a couple more here. Let's see. What if we're gonna? Oh yes.
They have to be careful if they started putting money in sports cards now. Then you really get the non-sports people out there buying
with the CAT scans and everything. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I've got to share this, Josh. When I saw this, it's a little creepy. I got to tell you, this is a little creepy, Josh.
It's super creepy. I'm still not sold that it's real, and why have we never heard of it?
Yeah, so if you're just listening, this is from 2024 Topps Now. Tom Brady, purple, and I don't know what this is. It's numbered out of 25.
Yeah.
And it's a jar that says recovery. Josh, what is this? Help me out.
I don't know. It's sure strange. That that hairdo from Tom is old also. So this is not a recent picture. This is an old picture. I'm still confused.
I mean, was he running a meth lab? What's going on here?
This has got to be fake.
It has to be.
Have you scanned that?
Here, look up the here. I'm going to do this. PSA registry. Sorry, guys. I've got to do this.
We probably should have done this before, but
don't.
The only reason I'm skeptical is because in 2024, Topps Now, Brady didn't have that hair in 2024. He looks oddly thin there. And a lot younger than he looks now, even though that's not a good picture. But Topps Now stuff is only stuff that happens right then and there. Is it fake? What's the verdict?
Oh my gosh, it's not just fake. It's hilariously fake. This is what comes up with this is a card of that cert number, which is the Haley Van Lith March Madness orange.
All right.
Not the creepy meth lab Tom Brady.
Great.
We're going to blame that one on Jacob. Number one, because he's not here. And number two, in the chat, he said it was real.
Yeah, he's going to get scolded now. We just wasted 4 minutes of podcast time to get rickrolled. It should take you to a link of the Rickroll song or whatever.
All right. So speaking of Topps Now,
this is real.
They keep going with WWE is on a bit of a heater when it comes to the hobby. They're doing a great job with inscriptions in the Topps Chrome product. And here it says breaking. This was from it says yesterday. I don't know if this is a screenshot, but for WrestleMania 41, all superstars will be wearing a WrestleMania patch on their gear after the event. Each patch will be placed into a 1-of-1 trading card. Josh, you know wrestling. Where in the world can they put this patch to where it's not going to get ripped off? I mean, are they going? Well, it
could be anywhere. All different wrestlers have all sorts of different gear that they wear, so it could be
but
any place. I mean, what they're doing is
having to put this on the inside.
No, I mean
you got to get some swass. I mean,
if it's sewed on there, have you not seen pieces of clothing don't go flying during wrestling matches? And
I don't know.
Trust me, this will be just fine. Here's the thing. The top comment there says this kind of stuff is cheesy and forced. while I agree with that, it's just what they're probably doing is just one little step up from saying this little piece of mem is from the tights he wore at WrestleMania, which, while it might be true, doesn't have the same feel as the patch that you saw on the wrestler at WrestleMania, then put in a card. So I like it. It's kind of just upping the game used memorabilia part of the hobby with here's the actual tags, and I like it. Too much of a good thing is not good, but I don't think they've hit too much of it yet. So I like
I love it. You know what I love? Hold on, we've got a barking dog. Hold on. What I love even more is sort of the vintage feel of this patch. I mean, that looks like it's straight out of 1975. And so love the design, love the concept, love my dog barking in the background. But these debut patches and these this concept, I mean, I was daydreaming about them cutting up Rory's jacket, his green jacket, and having a part of that, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah. And like that comment says, I do like the WWE brand, but you are going a little overboard with the whole debut patch for every single sport or event. Well, it's not that overboard if it's just a couple sports.
And one event.
It's been baseball, it's been WrestleMania, and now it's been, what was the other debut patch they started? Oh, they were going to do it on football. They announced
football and basketball.
Yeah.
So this is a little unique. It's a little unique just because everybody's going to be wearing this at the same event. Like the only time you would get the baseball one is if, a couple players from maybe opposing teams or the same teams are making debuts at the same time. You're not going to get that in baseball. You may get a little bit of the same player, same game in football, and maybe a little bit of that in basketball, but every superstar is going to be wearing it from this event. I could see how that sort of waters it down. Maybe they should have sprinkled this around, but WrestleMania is it, right? That's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the Super Bowl for WWE. Think of it this way too, like the WWE often at a WrestleMania, it's not every WrestleMania, but it's a lot of them. There ends up being an iconic match that lasts through the ages, whether it be a cage match. And I'm just thinking back, like if you had the actual patch off of, the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels cage match where Kane made his debut and ripped off or when Undertaker throws Mankind off of the cage. Those are like Bret Hart versus Stone Cold. That match is being inducted into the Hall of Fame, like that as one of the greatest matches as it relates to what it's done for that sport. Some of these matches become so iconic that they live on forever, and to have a piece that was in that match is a huge deal. And I'm just thinking like those 3 matches that have gone down in the annals. Although I promise we'd never use that word on this podcast again, but maybe the patches were on the anals. I don't know, but
that's where I'm thinking they're going to have to put them.
No, they got boots, they got thigh pads, they got tights. Some of them wear full body gear. But I mean, to have a piece of actual memorabilia that came from one of those matches would be a huge deal.
Yeah, and they're all getting them. They're used. I mean, there's going to have some sweat stains on these things. So,
yep. Maybe even some blood.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So, guys, if you've made it this far, thank you. Don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe. Let us know what you like about this, what you don't like about it, specifically what you don't like about it. We love those.
Anthony stopped commenting after I called him a liberal nut. So did I finally cross the line?
Just
Anthony, I still like you.
Bring your thick skin if you're going to come at us, right? All right. Well, Josh,
Yes.
anything before we close things out with Crazy Stat? Any
Yes.
other? What do you
The
got?
next card show is officially on the calendar, July 26th. You'll see
Nice.
some advertising starting for that in the near future. There's some other shows coming up end of June, the big one down in Columbia that those guys put on down there, Palmetto down there at Lexington. They're putting on that show. Their third show will be at that. We'll have a big presence there. You'll see more advertising about that coming up. So keep your eyes peeled if you like our little Grand Slam show there with Jeremy and Top Sports Promotion. It'll be posted soon. July 26th. You can mark it on the calendar.
So does that mean you're not going to the National this year?
That is the week before the National.
Oh, okay. Does that mean you're going to the National this year?
Well, I am going to the National, but
Nice.
yes, it does not interfere with that. Although I said, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do a show during the National. Here's why. Lots of people don't go to it, and those that don't go to it are being inundated on social media about
Lots
the
of
National, and
FOMO.
it kind of gets you in card show fever.
Lots of FOMO going on.
And everyone's afraid to do in that weekend. So, we kicked around that idea. Yeah. So Andrew says, "Yay, I'll see you there." Are you going to the National, Andrew? If that's so, we'll have to bump into each other so I can meet you.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, thank you. Go ahead. One more thing.
I do have a stat. Crazy stat.
Okay.
It's going to pick your brain. It's small trivia. Who is the highest paid player in
Barry Bonds
in NFL history? Yeah, it's not Tony Gwynn, Barry Bonds, or Greg Maddux for this time with a stat. So, highest career earnings in the NFL in NFL history. I'll give you one hint. It's a quarterback. Any guesses, and then I'll tell you who it is.
It's a quarterback?
It's a quarterback. Still active.
Ooh. I'm going to go with still active, highest paid career
earnings.
I want to go Aaron Rodgers, but that seems very
I'm going
obvious.
to give you 5 guys, and you tell me who.
Okay.
It's one of these guys in no particular order. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford, or Russell Wilson.
I think I want to say, because I think I've heard them like call this guy like an ATM machine, but it's Kirk Cousins.
That's a great guess because he has been probably the wisest guy with his contracts. But Kirk Cousins at $321 million, Russell Wilson at $315, Brady at $332, Aaron Rodgers was number 2 at $380, but number 1 at $391 is Matt Stafford. He's earned the most money in NFL history, Matt Stafford.
Wow.
So there's your crazy stat of the week.
Well, just to tie this into the previous discussion, there's a really cool episode. You know, you said you watched Trump play golf with Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
The most recent episode where Bryson is trying to break 50 is with Matthew Stafford.
Oh, did they do it?
I don't think so. But what was cool is they're throwing the football around before they get started, and you could visibly see DeChambeau, who is not a small guy. He's actually on camera. He's actually bigger than Stafford. And visibly, you're seeing him flinch when he goes to catch the ball.
Like he's disturbed by it. Like it's impressive.
Like it's humming. Like it hurts to catch it. So, but anyway, you're frozen again. But at least it's a good image, Josh. It's a good image. Trust me. So, guys,
I see it.
I appreciate you, Josh, for taking some time out. And I appreciate everybody for listening and watching. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Peace. See you guys.